Not a sponsor, but this is what we're snacking on today. Some lovely red Leicester cheese. Very good for you. A great snack for playing Football Manager. Anyway, 2 games today, the last 2 before the winter break here in the Premiership. And hopefully we can finish off the calendar year with 2 wins. Let's get into it. Yes, hello, welcome on into 11am Sports, here for the Killie boys on Football Manager 21. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button for more daily Football Manager videos. I say daily, but yesterday's was something a little bit different. I'm kind of changing up Mondays slightly and showing you something a wee bit different from Football Manager on a Monday. So I hope you are enjoying that. Last week we had a lovely experiment on Football Manager, looking 100 years into the future. And yesterday I gave you my thoughts on Steve Clarke's Scotland squad for the Euros. Let me know what you think about it. If you've not seen it already, go back and have a look. I kind of talk through the squad and I predict what I think the starting 11's possibly going to be for that first game up against the Czech Republic. And, well, it's a couple of weeks' time now. It's not far away at all. But less about that. You can go and watch that if you want, but watch after you watch this one. Today, we are getting our last 2 games in before the winter break here in the Scottish Premiership in the 2030-2031 season. And last time out, you will remember, we played a penalty shootout victory against Dundee United in the Betfred Cup final. It was a bit dramatic, wasn't it? But we won in the end in the penalty shootout, as we say, and then we drew with Atletico Madrid, which means that we unfortunately did not qualify from our Champions League group, missing out by 1 point, even though we didn't lose a game. Really, really frustrating, really, really sad. But we got into the Europa League, so we've got a chance of progressing through there. But I was glad that we managed to show, we're made of stern stuff. We got 2 draws against Atletico Madrid and 2 against Dortmund. We're a solid side. And hopefully we can progress a little bit further in the Europa League than we did last year when we got knocked out at the quarter-final stage. But anyway, less about that. Today is the 2 games in the Scottish Premiership. And since we last met for those 2 games, we have played 3 games in the Scottish Premiership. One of them was against Rangers, our kind of title rivals this season. We did beat them 1-0 thanks to a Sergio Perez goal in the 22nd minute. We then played up against Hibs, where we unfortunately lost 3-2. Unfortunately, Scott Crawford, a former player, did score against us. Alfredo got Alfredo got one, not a couple, and Vlalic got our other one. But yeah, unfortunately, we lost 3-2. Hibs have been playing fairly well. They're working their way up the table. I'll just show you the league table in about a minute. And yeah, they're fairly decent. So we unfortunately did lose to them. But then we bounced back with a lovely 3-1 win over Hamilton. It wasn't looking lovely, to be honest. Up until the 89th minute, it was 1-1 after we got a goal from Demal early on in the game. But Boba scored 2 late goals to get us that win, and we won 3-1, which means today we play up against 10th placed Falkirk, and we play against 8th placed Wraith. Hopefully, 2 wins. Let's show you that Scottish Premiership table then. You can see it here. We are currently top of the table with a game in hand over Rangers. They played on the 24th and we're playing today on the 26th of December on Boxing Day up against Falkirk. You can see the teams below us as well. Hibs have played 19 games, one more than us, and Celtic as well. So we can get a 4-point gap at the top should we win this game in hand. Hibs just 3 points behind Rangers, and Celtic, who after a struggle to start the season, they were down in 6th or 7th at one point, have made their way up to 4th. And if we win our game in hand, they're going to be 11 points behind us halfway through the season, which is it's a lot of points, but they can easily make that up if they start performing. Looking at some of the stats down there, you can see Edward Lambert and Boba are in there for the average ratings. Boba in there for assists as well. Alfredo with 12 goals is the top goal scorer at the moment. And you can see just beside my face there, Francois has 7 clean sheets as well. Not too bad. But anyway, less talking. We'll get right into these 2 games. Hopefully lots of goals, because it's up against, as I say, Falkirk in 10th and Wraith in 8th. 2 games we should be comfortably winning. So just looking perhaps through some of the injuries and the fitness, we do have an injury to Edward Lambert. He is out for another 2 weeks, unfortunately, with that injury, so you will not see him today. Carrasco, the left back, who's been kind of competing with Greno, you'll remember, possibly even being our first choice, to be honest, is out for 5 days, so you won't see him today either. And Sika is kind of struggling with fitness, requiring a fitness test. So you might see him at some point in the second game, but not to begin with. So that means that the team for this game is going to look like this. Francois in goal. Perez and Anderson are normal centre-back partnership. Tomas covers at right back. Guerrero in on the left. Vlalic and Stacey in the middle with Jovic in front of them. Boba playing on the right-hand side instead of the left. Normally he gets a game on the left, but he's playing on the right instead of Lambert. It means that Nketiah plays on the left-hand side for us, and Alfredo, our top goal scorer, will play up front. So he's got 14 goals in all competitions, including 12 in the league. Hopefully he can get a couple more today. I must say I'm very much enjoying this cheese as a snack for me. I think we're on to mature cheddar now. I hope I don't have nightmares from this. You can see I'm recording this later on at night, so maybe I will, but I hope I don't. So a highlight earlier on, sorry, I'm just swallowing a bit of cheese. The ball was swung in there by Nketiah. I was headed over by Boba. Typical. Just as I'm munching on a piece of cheese, the highlight happens. Ideal. You'll be glad to hear I've finished my piece of cheese, but we still haven't had another highlight since that first one in the game. We've had all the shots in the game so far and all the ball, but there has been no highlights at all. I'm going to encourage the entire team here, and here is a highlight 5 minutes before half time. The ball played forward. Mitchell heads it on, but it's intercepted by Anderson, and Jovic is dropped deep to collect this ball, and he'll drive forward with it. He will indeed. He finds Alfredo, back to Boba. Boba cuts inside. Will he hit this himself? No, he finds Jovic. Jovic back to Vlalic. Can he get this ball out wide? He finds Boba. Boba back to Vlalic. Can he spread this ball out to Guerrero? Finds Stacey and Nketiah. Alfredo. Stacey hits it from a long way out. Goodness me, and Angelini with a great save. It says at the bottom, what a fine goal that would have been, and indeed it would have been. Boba swings the ball in, and it is cleared away. What an effort from Daniel Stacey there, but not quite a goal. 2 minutes to go here until half time, and there's another highlight for us, it looks like. Nketiah with it, into Stacey. Down the line toward Guerrero. Can he get this ball into the box? Reaches a byline. Cuts it back to Jovic, who hits it. It's bounced off Nketiah. I don't know how it's a goal, but it's a goal. It looked like it bounced off a defender, and then Nketiah and a defender, and then Nketiah scored. We will take it, though. And that is 1-0 to us here, and we'll see this in the replay exactly what happens. Guerrero gets the ball and cuts it back to Jovic, who hits the ball, and it bounces off a defender. Nketiah hits it. I think the keeper saved it there. And then Nketiah finishes it again, and he goes away pumping his arms in the air, and then he does a wee cartwheel. You know, Football Manager likes to have a cartwheel in a celebration. And we're up 1-0, 17 shots to 1, and we're only up 1-0 here, thanks to Eddie Nketiah. As we start the second half, I need to apologise again. It happened a few episodes ago. I've been playing in windowed mode. I can only apologise. I've sorted it now, so you won't have a window to see in today's video. I'm sure Editor Adam will pop up a wee Editor Adam to the rescue again, as he's put black bars over the top and bottom. I can only apologise, but we do have another highlight here. 10 minutes into the second half, and Nketiah with it, back to Vlalic and Stacey now. Back to Vlalic playing that deep line playmaker role. He plays so well for us. All the way back to Perez. Forward to Vlalic. Stacey here plays as a box-to-box midfielder, remember. Is deep here. Back to Perez. We're slow build up. Could we perhaps go through the gears a little bit now? Boba with it on the right-hand side. Back to Vlalic and Jovic. And can we spread the ball wide? Stacey. Vlalic, we're keeping it very central. We need to get this ball out to the wings. And we've lost the ball there, but Perez has collected it. And can we perhaps use the wide men this time? Stacey, Boba, the wide man's cut inside. He finds Nketiah, the other wide man, he hits it. There we go. What was I saying? Use the wide men, and we've used them indeed. Boba with the ball to Nketiah, and Nketiah's got his second goal of the game. You can see here, Stacey gets the ball into Boba, who's come inside, but we're still using the wide men. He drives across, finds Nketiah, one touch. The second one curls it round the keeper there. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful first from Eddie Nketiah. Better than his first one, certainly. Scored 2 today, and that's his up 2-0. Boba swings in this free kick toward the back post. It's headed. Perez. Oh, he scores a goal. It looked like it could have been offside, but we'll count it as a goal anyway. Anderson headed the ball over to Perez, and it was slotted into the back of the net. You see Boba swings to the back. Anderson heads it, and Boba unmarked at the back post. Puts that across into the empty goal. The two centre halves playing very nicely together there in the attacking portion of the pitch. And we're up 3-0. Hopefully the floodgates are opening now. Boba swings it in towards Stacey, and Stacey heads it in. His second goal of the season. We've seen Stacey score a lot of screamers, to be honest. But that one was not so. That was just a headed finish. A very nice one at that, at the back post. Gets away from his man and heads it in. And 20 minutes to go, and we're up 4-0. So we'll make a couple of changes. Boba's played very well, so we'll bring him off and put Alcatraz on out there. We don't want Darren Anderson getting sent off or anything silly, so we can bring Esteban Rodriguez on to play centre back alongside Sergio Perez. And just looking to see if we want to protect anybody else in this game. Alfredo's not playing that well, so we'll bring on Matteo Di Maio to play up front for the last 20 minutes and see if he can get himself a goal. Jovic with the free kick, swung into the back post. Rodriguez heads it. Oh, it's off the bar. Goodness me, that was nearly a third headed goal of the game. And Pierce comes away with it, but Guerrero intercepts as far as McGowan. And could this turn into a Falkirk chance? No, it's been a foul from Daniel Stacey, who gets a yellow card. And now that's the end of the highlight. And the ball's thrown in from Tomas on the right to Jovic. Tomas has collected it again. Can he thread it the ball down the line to Alcatraz, or will he take it himself? He takes it himself. Down the line. Cuts it back to Alcatraz now. Back out to Tomas. Can this ball go in the box? Maybe, boys. Back to Vlalic. Alcatraz with it. Tomas. Can he swing the ball in? He gets to the byline. Across to Di Maio. It's blocked and it's cleared away. And if you look at Arthur in the centre midfield for Falkirk there, it's a 5.7 now, a 5.8. I've never seen a rating that bad, I don't think, in Football Manager. A 5.8. Surely the manager would have taken him off. But we win the game 4-0. Doesn't matter about the Falkirk central midfield ratings. 2 goals for Nketiah, 1 for Perez, and 1 for Stacey. Puts us 4 points clear at the top of the table. I tell you what, that was a cracking performance against a team in the bottom half of the table. And hopefully we can have another one up against Wraith in the second game of this episode. You can see there, Wraith in 8th position in the league. So hopefully a nice win against them too. We'll see for that game in just a second. Right, hello, here we are, back for the second game up against Wraith, and only a few changes from the team in the last game. I'll talk you through it. Francois in goal, like seems to be always at the moment. Perez and Anderson at centre back. Sika gets back at right back instead of Tomas, and Guerrero at left back. Vlalic alongside George Pena in midfield because Daniel Stacey's suffering from a little bit of a lack of fitness. Jovic just in front of them. Alcatraz gets the game on the right because Boba's suffering from a lack of fitness as well. And Nketiah on the left, and Alfredo gets to play up front. Didn't score in the last game. His average rating in the last 5 has only been 6.74. So hopefully he does a little bit better today. Fingers crossed. Let's get into this second game. Oh, here we go. Half an hour in. It's the first highlight in this game. A bit like the last game. It was a fairly boring first half in terms of highlights. But Wraith got the ball on the left-hand side here. Hlen hits it. I think that was said Helen. It was H-L-E-N. So I'm assuring it was... No, it's an I, not an L. Maybe I should put my glasses on. Hein on the left-hand side there with the shot. But he did not go in. Jovic with a short corner to Alcatraz. Over to Alfredo. Alfredo to Anderson. I've not planned short corners, so I was intrigued to why we just did it. Anderson plays the ball back to Pena. Anderson out on this left-hand side. Finds Perez. Plays it all the way back to Guerrero, who might come forward. No, he plays it out to Anderson, who's staying up there as left back. Swings the ball in. It's not particularly good. It's cleared away toward Ritchie. And maybe Wraith have got a chance to break away with the ball here. Murray with it. Plays it forward toward the right-hand side. Guerrero clears the ball away, though. And I'm not going to try and say that name, but he gives the ball away towards Jovic. And Alfredo has it now. Oh, he could have broken away, but he plays it back to Jovic. And Nketiah now into Alfredo. He hits it. Oh, Alfredo must know better than me. I said, go on, break away. He says, no, we'll recycle the play, start again. And he gets the ball back and thrashes that into the side of the goal. Sends the keeper the wrong way. See here, I hoped Alfredo would run. But instead he plays it back to Jovic, finds Nketiah. And Alfredo gets the ball back here, takes one touch, and the keeper dives kind of backwards the wrong way, and Alfredo hits to the other side of him. And that's us up 1-0 after 36 minutes. A very nicely worked goal there for us. Just a few minutes until half-time, and we will go into half-time leading 1-0. Bit of a boring first half. So hopefully more highlights in the second, similar to the game against Falkirk earlier on. Jovic with the corner kick, 51 minutes on the clock, swinging to Anderson. Oh, nice header just over the bar. We're normally quite good from set pieces and corners. As you saw in the last game, we got 2 headed goals. But not quite that time for Anderson. 10 shots to 2. A fairly dominant performance. Going to make a couple of subs. Jovic is kind of dead in his feet, so we'll bring on Ryan Hamill for him. Alfredo score a goal, but he's on a yellow. Let's not do anything silly. And Di Maio can come on up front for him with here 25 minutes to go. There's a highlight here, but I don't think it's actually going to be a highlight. But we'll talk about it anyway. Alcatraz on the right-hand side gets fouled by Bowden. Goodness me. But we don't get to see what happens from the free kick. Vlalic has the ball on the edge of the box here. It's cleared away by Pennant towards Perez. And Vlalic gets the ball back into Pena. And Vlalic and Pena just passing the ball about between them. Hamill has come on for Jovic. Vlalic with it. Vlalic and Pena just aren't giving anyone else the ball. Sika's got it now on the right-hand side. He gets challenged, but he gets the ball back. Vlalic with it now. Sika swings it in toward Hamill. Hamill flicks it in. And there we go. I was talking about winning goals with headers earlier, was I? Or was it set piece I was talking about? I can't remember. Basically, I meant headed goals were pretty good in the air, and there was one of them there. Ryan Hamill, the attacking midfield player, got the ball after Sika swung this ball, and with his weaker left foot, and he just flicks that past the keeper, and we're up 2-0 now, and Esteban Rodriguez is going to come on at left back for Guerrero. Yes, we will proceed with this, because Guerrero's a little bit tired. And Rodriguez throws that ball in to Nketiah, and Pena with it now, and he gives the ball away, but Darren Anderson will collect this because there is no Wraith player putting pressure on our two centre backs. So Darren Anderson plays it over to Perez. Perez back to Anderson, passing the ball nicely between the two of them now. Can he come forward with the ball? Anderson here finds Pena and Nketiah, and we're passing the ball nicely in wee triangles at the back, but maybe get the ball into the Wraith half where we've got a chance of actually scoring a goal. Hamill finds Alcatraz on this right hand side. Sika's overlapping if he needs to use him. Will he use him eventually? No, he gets tackled, but Sika gets the ball now. Finds Alcatraz. Can he swing the ball in? He does. Hamill heads it. A second headed goal of the game, as if to prove my point about how good we are in the air. Third goal for us. We are winning this game 3-0. Another nice dominant performance after the game against Falkirk, where we had a very nice dominant performance. Alcatraz here swings the ball in. There's a heady goal from Hamill getting away from his man. Clayton gets a finger to it, but not quite enough. And that's us with 5 minutes to go, winning this game 3-0. You can see Rangers are winning their game as well, which means we stay 4 points ahead of them. A nice position to be in going into this winter break, and that is full time. 3-0 victory for us after a 4-0 in the previous game. 2 nice games to end this calendar year. And you can see from the league table there, as I say, 4 points ahead of Rangers, and we are also 9 points ahead of Hibs. So it's looking like us or Rangers to win the league. Maybe Hibs, maybe Celtic. But it's ours to lose. Look at that goal difference. 32 compared to Rangers 18. We should be winning the league from here. So looking at the schedule for the rest of the season, I would typically come back at the end of the January window, but to be honest, I don't know how much business is going to be done. It could be a fairly boring episode. So I think I'm going to come back for the Europa League first knockout round, first leg, and probably the Rangers game. I know normally I play the 2 legs together, but that's going to be a big game there. And the second leg is against Hertha. If I hadn't already mentioned, we're playing against Hertha Berlin. That could be a surprise. I can't remember if I mentioned it in the last episode or not. So that's who we've drawn in the first knockout round, Hertha Berlin. We played them 5 years ago or something in Europe, and we ended up getting knocked out by them over 2 legs. We lost 4-0 over 2 legs. So hopefully we can get some revenge there. But yeah, come back for that game against Hertha and Rangers. And then the next episode after that would be Hertha and Hibs. So that's 2 games against Hertha, really important in the Europa League, and against our title rivals in Rangers and Hibs. That could be a really important part of the season there. Got to really perform very well around that time. Looking at the dates though, it looks like that's the Thursday, the Hibs game's a Tuesday. There's a chance that there's actually Scottish Cup weekend in between as well. So if we're through in the Scottish Cup, that'll be the game you get to see there. There's a whole load of different things that could happen, but certainly I'm going to batter through quite a few games. We play against Celtic a couple of times, including one in the Scottish Cup. But you know what? Don't care. Let's move forward with this. Okay, and we'll get to that stage in February where we play against Hertha and Rangers, and the second leg against Hertha will be in the episode after that, and then hopefully we'll do a normal kind of both legs in the same episode from there on out. Yeah, it's getting exciting. We're getting to the gritty bit of the season where we have a chance of winning the league. Remember, we didn't win the league last year. We missed out by a point. So we hopefully can do it this year. It's still important for us to get that second Premiership title of our reign as Kilmarnock manager and to try and do well in Europe. Remember, we lost in the Conference League final. We got to the quarter-finals of the Europa League previously. Let's try and get further than that. And then we can properly start competing in the Champions League and try and get to the knockout stage of that. We so nearly did it this year, but not quite. So if you are looking forward to that next episode up against Hertha Berlin, then do leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new around here, if you haven't already subscribed. Come on. There's like 2/3 of you that haven't subscribed. So come on, subscribe to the channel. And until the next episode, we'll see you then.